I want to start talking about when we were dating,
Mm-hmm.
and remember how we used to always joke about
Jerome.
Jerome. So Jerome was supposed to be the name of our first child.
It was like the placeholder name. It wasn't
Yeah.
his name. That's just what we referred to. Instead of saying like, oh, our future child, he was Jerome.
Yeah.
That was like a placeholder name.
Yeah.
We joked about it.
We joked about having kids,
Mm-hmm.
and people thought we were crazy because we would always talk about having kids, and we were just dating.
Right.
But we were, I don't know, I guess we were older, so we would kind of wanted to get all of that out of the way. Like,
Well, we wanted kids.
we did.
We definitely wanted kids.
And I guess I wanted to know from you, like, how you felt about kids, how soon you wanted to have kids.
I mean, you wanted kids ASAP. And I was kind of like, let's, what's your middle name?
You got some nerve. You were like 50 already. You were like 50.
Like, shit, let a brother get to know you.
You were like
No,
50.
but I did. I mean, we wanted kids, but yeah, you wanted kids. And I was like, damn, baby, like, we gonna have kids, but
I guess
let's go to the club. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something.
I wanted to know how you felt about kids before we got too deep, because we were older already. We were like, what?
I know, but it
We
was
were like
just,
late 30s.
I know, but at the same time, it was kind of like, why ain't
Yeah.
pregnant yet? Why ain't pregnant yet? It's like, damn, baby, like, we don't do it.
Oh my goodness, you got some audacity.
No, I'm serious. No, that's just, I was just like, I want to have kids.
Okay.
I do. But
Yeah.
it was just like we were dating.
Okay, yeah. And we would joke.
And you had to correct a lot of my behavior, because my behavior was like selfish behavior.
Yeah.
So you were busy doing that. And I'm like, you want a kid with me? Shit. Like,
yeah.
So then after the fact, it was like, okay.
Okay, yeah. So we would joke a lot when we were dating about having
Jerome.
kids, and we would call him Jerome. And there were some times where people would be like,
people would be like weirded out by that.
yeah, they're like, who is
why do you call him
Jerome? Why you call him Jerome?
Yeah. Is that what's gonna make your baby Jerome? Yeah.
Yeah, and they would think we were weird that we would talk about kids when we were dating.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if more people talked about having kids when they were dating, then they wouldn't even have a lot of issues that they have after they're married.
No, I agree. It kind of sets the precedent, kind of.
It does.
Like, we're gonna have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I get that.
So I guess that would lead me to my first question for you.
You have questions prepared.
I do have a question for you. When I told you I was pregnant with
I was
Santana,
excited.
I didn't even tell you which kid.
Well, shit, it had to be Santana. Well, yeah, no, I was excited when you told me.
When I told you I was pregnant with Santana, you were excited?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember. I was in Austin.
Okay.
I was in Austin with the boys, and yeah, I was very excited. And I showed them the text message, like, of the picture of the test, like, because you sent me a picture of the test. I remember I was on my way to the airport. You sent me a picture of the test, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh shit! Even I knew it was gonna happen because.
Yeah, we kind of knew when we got pregnant.
I busted, yeah.
PG, we need a PG. We need a PG.
It was legit though. It was like
we knew when.
I hadn't seen you you were in JetBlue training. I hadn't seen you in months.
Yeah.
Like visits, but yeah, we were fucked up on tequila.
Oh my
God. I spent like $600 on tequila shots for the whole class that night. We all got toe up that night.
Yeah, so
we went back to the hotel and I
stop
destroyed it. Yeah, it was a massacre. Yeah,
I can. Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
Like I was like,
oh my
I knew
god!
it.
I need you to stop.
I knew it. I was like, she's pregnant. I knew it. I was just like, yeah, it's a done deal. And the next day you were like, we need to talk. I was like, I already know. Yeah, I busted. Yeah, I know.
I can't stand you. You.
Okay, my bad.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Baby, you gonna get all of me. You want me to do this, you gonna get me. No, I'm kidding. No, it's
okay, so I guess that we planned to have our children.
We did.
Yeah, we planned to
We
have our
did plan
children.
to have our children.
We
yeah.
did. We planned to have our children. So I guess it was a surprise and not a surprise.
What we expected to have children.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, bruh, you went in last night. We need to talk. And I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, we're cool. I know your middle name now. We're good.
Be quiet. Oh my God, you make me so sick. I can't
No,
stand
but
you.
I mean, at that point, it was just like, yeah, no, we're
We're
in it. Like, we're together. We're in it. Like, I loved you. Like, you were.
Yes.
You know,
oh my God.
We weren't married, but we were gonna get married.
We weren't.
Like,
And I guess that's another thing, like, to talk about. I know a lot of times that people think having kids, like there's an order of things.
Right.
You know, you have to
no,
be
we were
married.
definitely out of order.
We were, for some people.
And on paper, it looks like we got married because we had Santana. Which
It does,
true.
but that wasn't true
No,
at
that
all.
wasn't true at all.
It was funny because even the night I told you that when I think you were like planning to propose anyway, and I was like, I'm pregnant.
That ring burned a hole in my pocket.
And we love you for it.
Oh,
But
that was hard.
I think for a lot of people, just thinking about traditional family values, they think that you have to be married first, and then you have to have, after you're married, then you start having kids, and we kind of did it in reverse.
But honestly, nothing about our relationship has been traditional.
Yeah.
We didn't have a big wedding.
We
didn't do nothing. Everything we've done has just kind of been
whatever
at
we
our
wanted,
pace.
Yeah,
what we wanted to do.
We
We didn't do everything the way it was traditionally done. But
even,
I mean, we knew we were going to get married. I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of people wanted us to have this huge wedding, and once we realized how much other people were kind of being involved, we were like, you know what? Let's just
do us.
Yeah, that's not even what we want. So
because we can do it tomorrow if you wanted to,
and we did.
And that's what we chose to do. Yeah, it was like, let's just go get it done.
And let's just go get it done. And we did it. We just went off, got married, came back, and was like, boom, surprise,
we're married. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that having the boys has changed you at all?
Of course it has. Of course it has. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you go from this life that's about you, and you're just doing everything about you. And before I had even met you, it was even worse.
Yeah.
So then when I met you, you had to get me out of that selfishness.
Yeah.
But then once you have a child, it's like, it's all about the kids. It's just like, it's not about me anymore.
Yeah.
Even when we were married, it was just me, or not married, but when we were dating, it was me and you. It was about us.
Yeah, we would do a whole lot.
What we like to eat, what we like to do, what we want to do. And then once we had Santana, it's about,
yeah.
To this day, there's certain things we don't do because we're like, Bash don't like that. Bash don't do that.
Right.
It's all about them at that point. So yeah, it's definitely
even when we picking restaurants. It's like
restaurants, yeah.
It's like if they don't have French fries,
places to go. Yeah, it's just like, Bash isn't gonna like that. It's too noisy. He ain't gonna like that.
Yeah.
We can't. So it is what it is. Or if we do, we're like, we know we're gonna leave early because it's gonna be, So no, yeah.
Okay, so
definitely.
What do you like most about being a father?
Damn.
Really?
It's like hard to put into words. It's like being a father is awesome. It's awesome, like taking something and molding it and giving it your values and like watching them grow. And especially for Santana, like, man.
I do. I kind of awesome, enjoy watching you being a father.
Santana and watching Santana like where he was before he had the diagnosis, and then get the diagnosis and getting the help, and then us seeing him turn into this super outgoing kid where before he wasn't even talking.
Right.
It's kind of like he wanted to express himself, but he just didn't know how. And then he was like, I can express myself. I can talk. And now it's like, it's out of the cage.
I will say, seeing you being a father, sometimes it's like,
Speaking of,
seeing you being a father, sometimes it's like watching your dad. It's sometimes you're turning into your dad.
oh, I'm definitely turning into my dad.
Yeah, you say and do a lot of things that your father does. I don't even know if you realize
Oh,
that
I
you do.
definitely realize it. It's like after the fact.
Yeah,
It's after the fact. I'm like, dude, that's definitely something my dad would say. Or it's definitely something my dad said.
yeah,
No, I am my dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
You are, and there are a lot of times I'm like, man, like you're being such a old
Yeah,
daddy.
old daddy from the South. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when you're thinking about your old daddy from the South, what are some things that you remember, like that you really loved about your father? Some of your like fondest memories.
Traveling. I enjoy traveling with my dad.
Yeah, because
I
your
enjoyed.
daddy kind of introduced you to aviation.
Well, yeah, no, he was the one that introduced me to like commercial aviation, the airlines, traveling, first class, like all of that. No, that was all my dad. And yeah, I do have memories of just like being in the airport with him, and he always walked fast to the airport, and
I
I'd be
was
trying
dressed
to
you up in a
keep
suit.
up. Yeah, you dressed me up in the suit with a clip-on tie on me. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and so basically everything, like as far as like my love for flying and my like dream of being a pilot is, yeah, it's all because of him, all because of him. And but yeah, my dad had a sense of humor. He's a funny guy, and he was, a disciplinary. He was all about respect, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was funny, and his delivery and discipline and stuff like that. It was funny, and it's funny because he would discipline us in a funny way, and we laugh. He would get upset that we're laughing because he was being serious. But we were laughing. Oh, you think it's funny? I'm like, well, no, it's not. But you're funny. Like what you're saying. Stop talking. But yeah, he would get upset because we'd be laughing at him because he was disciplining us in a funny way. So yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. That's what I remember about him. I just remember that he was is because
Yeah.
he's still around. But yeah, he's a funny guy. My dad is awesome.
He is, and I do like seeing y'all relationship. Um, I didn't grow up with a father, so um, I know it would have been, when it comes to grandfathers or whatever, I knew that would have been different for our kids. But I'm glad that you were pretty much raised by your father, and you guys are best friends. And I like seeing y'all together, and it kind of, even you with the kids, it's like seeing you with your little best friends.
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate that. But yeah, no. Well, I mean, my dad is everything. Like, if I didn't have a father, I would not have any of this for sure.
Yeah.
So, it's the opposite. I didn't have a mom. I just had a dad. So,
Yeah.
it's the complete opposite. But yeah, without him, none of this would be happening at all. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a huge part in.
And I think that speaks a lot. Like you said, you didn't have a mom, but you were raised by your father, and you and your dad were best friends. And I know a lot of people, even when we talk about the Black community, fathers not being involved, but your father was very involved, and
Very.
he was pretty much like a single father.
Yeah, no, I mean, people wanted me.
Yeah.
When my mom passed away, people were trying to do my dad a solid, and I'll take Courtney, I'll take him, and my dad's like, no, this is my son, I got it, I'll take care of it, and I think he did a good job.
I think
honestly,
he did a great job too.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, but yeah, it was it was heavy, and it's weird because I didn't find out about any of this stuff. I was like 18 when my dad told me everything that went on. Before then, it was just like I had no idea, and then he's just like, now that you're 18, by the way, like when your mom passed away, this is all the stuff that went down that you had no idea about. And I'm just like, wow. So
that's a lot.
Yeah. So the fact that he dealt with all of that and, still did his thing.
I know he did.
Yeah.
He did.
So.
And I'm thankful. Honestly, your father has been really great because, like you said, you grew up without a mother. I grew up without a father, and it was um, it's kind of interesting the way we kind of
Mm-hmm.
came together because your father has always been amazing to me. Um, I mean, I think your father really loves me.
He
Honestly,
does. I
he
mean,
does.
yeah, no, he definitely
He
does.
does. He loves me, and he's always made me feel like pretty much I was one of his own children. So I think that's awesome as
Yeah,
well.
no, I mean, yeah. Well, thank you.
I do. I think you have an amazing father.
Thank you. No,
And
I
I
love
think
my
he
dad.
raised a pretty amazing son.
Well, thank you.
And I think you're an amazing father.
Thank you. I'll be honest. That's all I know is to raise my children the way I was raised.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like, yeah.
And I feel like Santana is, well, I feel like the boys are a lot like you in different ways. Santana
Nico is definitely like me. That's
Santana
definitely
is,
my child, for sure.
he's a lot like you
Yeah.
in a lot of
He's
ways.
outgoing. He's got personality. He's nosy. He talks too much. Yes, my kid.
He's never met a stranger.
Yeah. Bash is more like you. He's a douchebag. Bash is a douchebag.
I can't even. I'm gonna need y'all to cut
mean.
that.
Bash is mean.
He's not mean. He keeps it real.
Bash is mean.
He keeps it real. He keeps it real, and he takes care of his big brother the same
He
way.
does.
The
He does.
same
He
way
does.
I have to take care of you.
He does. He does.
I have
Right.
to let them. I
Yeah.
do. I have to
Yeah,
let people know.
I agree.
You are. You're a very nice guy.
And-
a very nice guy.
Yeah, and you're the one that pushes your foot
I do.
down
I
and
have
you
to.
let
As
people
soon as you
know,
walk away,
like,
I have to let people know. I throw hands.
I agree, and that's Bash for sure. He throws
do.
hands. Yes,
He does. He takes care of his brother.
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
He
So Bash is your baby, and he throws my baby. Even I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're our children, and even when I see them, when it's time for you to go to work, and they tell you to fly safe,
Fly swift.
fly
Fly
swift,
safe. Yeah.
fly safe.
Fly swift.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but I do it. I'm like, I'm flying swift.
When you were young, were you like Santana with the
No, I
airplanes?
wasn't. And the funny thing is that my dad was the one that was outgoing and talked to everybody, and I was a little more shy, a little more like reserved. Like I got along with people and I had friends, but I just wasn't like that. Like I didn't really get that until like I left home.
Okay.
Once I left home and was out there on my own, I kind of got comfortable in my own skin. I've always been, I mean, obviously a shy individual, like this whole setup I'm freaking out about. But yeah, I've always just been a shy individual. But as I got out on my own, like I just kind of got comfortable in my own skin and got more, comfortable talking to people and more comfortable with hearing their stories. And
I can't even believe
and
that
now
you're trying to be like, I'm so shy. Your shy brother all of a sudden.
I don't do, I mean, this is, it's.
Okay, and I will say this. Just you, I think one of the things that I loved was your friendships, let's say with like Tremaine and James, because they're your friends since you were like,
Yeah,
what?
no, those are my boys. Like they know me.
Yeah,
those are my brothers. Yeah,
since you were like, what, 8 years old, right?
Yeah, I'm 8. No, like me and James 5. Like me and James been friends forever.
And how do you think that is for you? Even when you're like, when you're being in your fatherhood, how is it just seeing them being fathers as well? Like, come on, you guys knew each other since you were like 5.
Well, it's funny because like they parent like their parents. Like James is his father. It's funny seeing James because he is his father. He is just like Mrs. Harris was like you. Miss Harris was very just caring and graceful and like Mrs. Harris laid down the law. Mrs. Harris like Whose light is on up there? Go turn that light off. And that's James is the exact same way. I see it when he's with his kids, and he's just like, well, she don't want to eat, she ain't gonna eat. If she don't like what they have, she ain't gonna eat. That was his daddy. That was exactly how his daddy was. So I mean, yeah, no, my friend's parent, like they were parented, and yeah, I could definitely see it. I mean, Tremaine was raised by a mom, so
Yeah. So yeah, I do. And I think that was something I was like, oh, I love that you have friends that you've known since you were like 5 years old.
yeah,
And
because when you met me, I was like close with my flight school friends, and yeah, it was just like, do you have any friends that you grew up with that
Yeah.
like, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool, you actually have like childhood friends that really know you from when you were a child in Carson, and not,
And it is just so interesting when I see, like, when we're all with the boys and then you guys are telling your stories of growing up.
And it is nice to be around people that know me, that I grew up with, that know me, that I know that James and Tremaine, they have embarrassing stories. They know a lot of stuff about me. I know a lot of stuff about them too. But it's just nice to be around people that know me, like friends that know me.
So what are your wishes for our children?
That they grow up and they be respectful individuals that take care of themselves, take care of their families, if they have families, excuse me. But that they're respectful individuals, and that they're respected, and that they're able to provide for themselves at the least, take care of themselves. And, if they have families, they're able to provide for their families on their own. And, that's all you really want for them,
I do. And I do feel like we will always be there for our children. I know,
of course.
I know a lot of times people feel like once you leave the home.
No, if they need us, you know how many times, like, my dad came through for me when I was 23, 24, 25, 26. Like, my dad came through for me. No questions asked. You need me? Okay.
And I guess even to kind of round off our conversation, I want you to know that you're an amazing father.
Thank you.
That you do a lot for us.
Thank
you. I do. I feel like you're a caring individual, that you instill a lot into our sons. A lot of times, like, they'll even tell me, they want to be pilots like you.
Oh.
They do. They love you. They miss you.
No, that'd be awesome if they were.
I
if they weren't pilots, I wouldn't care, but that'd be awesome if they were pilots.
I do. I see a lot of, even like I do. I love your father, and I feel like I see a lot of your father in you. But he's a good person. And I do. I think he raised a really good son.
Oh, thank you.
I do.
Yeah, and that's all I know. All I know is to be like Bo Gully. That's who raised me. That's all I know. But yeah.
I think he did. You do a great job
providing
for us and being a great role model for our children.
It sure is easy to read with all this light. Chris Rock. That is. You remember Chris Rock? He's like, don't nobody give a fuck about daddy. He's the only song about, he's like, Dear Mama. Song about mama. He's like, it's all these songs about mama. The only song about daddy was, what'd he say? Papa's the Rolling Stone. You remember that stand-up when he did?
No, you remember every stand-up.
He's like, don't nobody give a damn about daddy. Don't nobody say daddy. Thanks. It's easy to read with all this light. It sure is easy to shower with this hot water.
Well, thank you for the hot water.
You're welcome, baby.
And thank you for all this light.
You're welcome, baby. Exactly. You're welcome, children. Yeah. No, it's a thing.